Wow. It's packed. 2024. New York City. And the church is packed. Hey. I don't think I need do anything or say anything else to prove the truth of the resurrection than that in New York City in 2024, the church is packed. Yes, what a blessing. What a blessing. Okay, first I got to do a little hello. I want to say hello to my first mentor in the church, Father John Bright, who is in Portland, Oregon. Father John, hi, I know you're watching. Father he's 95. He turned 95 last September, and I went out to visit him, and I drove in a car with him. Oh, wait. He drove. I was in the car with him. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, never been so scared in my life. And need I say or do anything else than to prove the truth of the resurrection than that I drove in a car with you, John, and I'm still here. He is my absolute loved mentor. And John, I love you. And just be you, but not with me in the car. Okay. So I've been telling you lately, as I get older, I like read. Our cycle of lessons is 3 years, and now that I'm in year 30, I've been through it 10 times, right? And so I've read these lessons hundreds of times, and yet I'm constantly amazed at how I see new things, or sort of things sort of jump out at me in different ways that I just didn't expect and hadn't seen before. And today that happened again. Let me just read it to you. We just heard it. Beth just read it beautifully, and you heard it. But it has to do with this passage of from John's Gospel of the two disciples. Okay, so Mary has seen. This is not the mother of Mary. This is Magdalene. Mary Magdalene has gone. Apparently with probably some others, it says, because she uses a plural later, but not that central. But she has gone to the she had gone to the tomb early in the morning of the third day. Friday, Good Friday, Saturday, day 2, Sunday, day 3. She's gone early in the morning to prepare the body. They did not have time on Friday, and so they went early to prepare the body with spices and other things. And they go. And when they get there, the rolling stone tomb, a rolling stone tomb is literally just that. It's like a cave hewn into rock, and then a large stone is sort of rolled in front of the entrance, okay? They get there in the morning, it's probably still dark out, and they see that someone has already rolled the stone aside. Already. It's unclear who has done that or what has happened. It seems it's unclear also that Mary Magdalene, if she looked in or not. But what is clear is that she runs and she goes and finds Simon Peter and the beloved disciple. That's the disciple whom Jesus loved. It's probably John. But the disciple who Jesus loved. And she says to them, they, plural, unclear, they have taken the Lord out of the tomb, and we do not know where they have laid him. Okay, now comes the part that just kind of grabbed me this week. It says, this is verses 5 through 8. Then Peter and the other disciples set out and went toward the tomb. The two were running together, but the other disciple outran Peter and reached the tomb first. He bent down to look in and saw the linen wrappings lying there. Okay, so he bends down to look at, the tombs are not like high to tall. They're kind of small, and you sort of would have to bend down. Those of you who have been with John Peterson, Father John Peterson, one of my other great mentors, to the Holy Land, might have seen such a rolling tomb up in Nazareth. But you see that, so Mary then, bent down. Peter and John, or the beloved disciple, get there. The beloved disciple bends down. He looks in. He sees the linen wrappings that the body had been wrapped in lying there. So there was like a shelf. Picture a shelf that the body would be placed on after it had been wrapped, okay? And also that the head was wrapped, was covered. So he sees the linen wrappings lying there from outside, but note it says he did not go in. But Simon Peter comes, and he comes right behind him, and Peter, being Peter, just says, I'm going in. And he goes in, and it says, he saw the linen wrappings lying there, and the cloth that had been on Jesus' head, not lying with the linen wrappings, but rolled up in a place by itself. Then the other disciple who reached the tomb first also went in. The beloved disciple goes in after Peter, and it says, he saw and believed. He saw and believed. Now, there are a couple things. This is the passage that kind of got me. There are a couple things that just stood out. One, and it's really simple. I'd never really seen or thought about. Okay, so you remember going back before they enter Jerusalem, Jesus in John's gospel performs his greatest sign. You remember that one? It was raising who from the dead? Lazarus, exactly. It was raising Lazarus from the dead. It's that great moment when Jesus says, Lazarus, come out. And Lazarus, who was dead, comes out of the tomb. And do you remember what the text said about Lazarus? He's covered, isn't he? He's covered. He's got it says he's got the linen burial wrappings still on, and the head covering is still on. He comes out, Lazarus comes out just as he had been taken in and laid down on the shelf after he died. But this is what got me, right? Jesus is gone, but the wrappings are there. And this one little detail really kind of hit me. It was that someone, Jesus, had taken off the head wrapping and folded it and put it on the shelf. You picture that? Jesus, after God had raised him from the dead, the simplicity and economy of the movement, of the description in the text is profound. Jesus took the time to unwrap the head covering and then fold it. And then fold it and put it on the shelf. I don't know why that really hit me. The simplicity of that action, the truth of which it speaks. It wasn't grave robbers who stole the body. A grave robber wouldn't have done that. Someone who had just looted it wouldn't have done that. They wouldn't have taken the time to fold the head wrapping and put it there. No. He did that. He did that. And left everything on the shelf. profound to me because it's so simple. Now, of course, if this text had been about me, it would have said, and he balled everything up and threw it in the corner. But thank God, Jesus is Jesus. And he took the time to show them and to leave everything there. Because the point of the story is what? That he left death behind. That he left death behind. He's not in the tomb. When Lazarus comes out, he brings death with him in the form of the wrappings. Get it? He brings death with him and he's going to die again and has to be rewrapped. Jesus leaves death where death belongs. He has no more part in death. Death is done. And the beloved disciple, he sees it and he says, I believe. I believe. You get me? In the simplicity of that, leaving the clothes behind, not taking them with him, is the deep truth that he has beaten death. That death stays in the tomb and he leaves because death no longer has sway over him. By the way, that's true for you too. You know that. As Christians, death no longer has sway over us, no longer has power over us, no longer is a fear for us, no longer rules us, and that which we do. The implications for this are, of course, immense. What do you fear? What do you fear? What worries you? Right now, we're in it's going to be a hard year. You know that, right? It's going to be a hard year. Question is, how are you going to get through it? How are you going to get through it? I've been preaching this year. I told you back in September that my theme for this year was going to be division. The division that is so ripe and alive in our country, which is going to get worse. Okay? The divisions around the world, the divisiveness we see all around us. As Christians, as people who no longer fear death, I want to offer you one tool you might want to think about putting into play since we have no fear of death. When we think about the divisions that we are faced with. Divisions come from fear. You no longer have to fear. So you no longer have to divide. Let me suggest in this coming year that if it is at all within your power to not contribute to division, that you not contribute to division. If at all you find yourself in a situation where you feel invited to contribute to division, might I suggest that you have the Christian courage to not contribute to it? Because in the coming year, you will be invited time and time again through all the myriad ways our society has to entice all of us to my favorite word, outrage. Outrage. You realize that if outrage were experienced by a human being, say you, me, as often as outrage is proclaimed in this world, we would all have heart attacks and die. You just can't be outraged at everything. So to the extent, folks, Christians, good people, churchgoers, to the extent this year that you can not contribute to division, take that opportunity and not contribute to division. Step back. Look in the tomb and see that the linen cloths and the head wrap are still there and that he's gone and that you need not fear. Amen.